We're so thrilled to have Amanda with us today. She's the founder of Hello EDU. She's devoted her life to education. She also works as a prompt engineer, which is incredibly fascinating given today's topic. And she holds a bachelor's of science in communication and a master of arts in education. And now I will turn it over to Amanda to dive deep into the world of AI and exactly how you use it smartly and ethically.
That was fantastic. So much great resources and knowledge. Yeah, that was great. So let's pull this up here. All right. So hello. My name is Amanda with Hello EDU. I am so happy to be here. Thank you, Christina, for letting me come and talk to you all about AI. So my background is I was a prompt engineer through Google's extended workforce through another company, so like a subcontractor. But I still pick up AI contracts from time to time with other companies. And now I run Hello EDU, and I tutor and coach students of all ages. I am also a STEM educator, and I do field trips, which is very fun as well. Before that, I spent years working in education, doing more like corporate style education. And I just realized the part I loved most about being an educator was helping families directly. And so I get to do that now, and I'm very grateful. So today we're going to talk about how we can use AI to support learning when it's used well. So we're going to talk about what AI is, what it is not, why it matters, spotting AI writing, some of those tells we can find, and how to use it in healthy ways, as well as just a few prompt examples that you can use for your own study guides while you're using AI, and then also healthy AI habits and how AI is going to help in the future, like Christina was just talking about. So some tips. Hopefully, you come or walk away with this. With, oh, I know a little bit more about prompting now. So AI today versus early AI. I think we all remember when it first came out, the weird pictures with the hands, like the extra fingers. It was very chaotic. It's calmed down a bit. I'd like to think all the prompt engineers out there are helping, but it is now, systems that can actually help. They're trained on billions of examples. And while AI is very smart, it still cannot think. So it is just predicting words and models. So we need to remember that it is a tool that is a pattern prediction. It generates the text and follows instructions. As far as when we're using it for studying in school, we need to remember that our brain is still the most important part when we are using AI. So it is a tool. I always tell my students it's like a calculator for language. So it'll save you time, it can check your work, it can help you start something. The best thing it's for is for that brainstorming, the getting started, especially with executive functioning. That's sometimes the hardest step is that first step of getting started. And AI is such a great tool for that, but you still need to know the material. So just like calculators didn't magically get rid of math class and we don't need to know math anymore, AI is not magically going to get rid of our thinking or our writing. It is just a tool. So AI, again, not a thinker, not a brain. It can't figure things out. It's a fancy autocomplete. So it can be very wrong. And when it's wrong, it is so confident, which is what makes it very confusing when it's wrong for some students because it sounds so confident when it's wrong. So we have to be the brain that is checking and making sure that it is correct. So, why does AI matter? So, the custom learning, tailoring content to the student is the best thing I like to do with AI. Put in your interest, put in something you care about, and you can make the most dull, boring topic something that you're interested in. So you can use it to spark the neural pathways that'll get you to remember things. You just put in something you're interested in while you're studying. We'll get more into that into some prompts here. But that's one of the most fun things. It can also simplify things. So if there's something that is complex, you can put it in and have it at the grade level. Of course, it saves time with generating these notes and these study guides, and it's fun. So that's my favorite part. I love AI because it is fun and it is weird, and it's almost fun to catch it being wrong because you're like, ooh, I got you. Like, so using AI is going to be just this life skill that we're all going to need to get good at. We're going to be able to, we need to identify when it's AI, and we need to know how to prompt. It's going to be just the same as knowing how to use a calculator, knowing how to use the internet. It's just going to be this life skill we all need to get familiar with. We want to make AI our ally. So, your teachers and teachers in general, there's always a vibe when there's something written by AI, and we can tell when AI has written something. It has certain patterns. It has lots of M dashes and lots of commas. There's always the set of three commas. That's one of the tells too. But it just has a polished type of tone. It doesn't always match the student's voice. So again, make AI your ally. We could also change this slide to say, make AI your calculator. It is your calculator. That is what we want to use it for. So it can support you, but it can't replace the thinking. All right. So a happy thing about AI is the picture's a little creepy, but the message is still there that it can help you find your voice, helps students articulate their ideas, write in confidence. Like I said at the beginning, the best thing is to get the ball rolling. That executive functioning, the task initiation can be sometimes the hardest part of starting anything, any type of studying, any type of assignment. And so AI can be your buddy in doing that and getting that first step, and then you'll be on a roll. Um, the important thing, though, and why we need AI literacy is because when AI messes up or goes off on a tangent, it's called a hallucination. And those hallucinations, if you're taking everything the AI says, can send you down a rabbit hole in the wrong direction. So it is super important to be mindful with your prompts, to double check everything that it's outputting to you, and just revise, and check it out as you go. So I have kind of a funny story. I'm going to call it the M dash fiasco. I didn't know what else to call it. But, when we are working with students, the copy pasting, that is the non-ethical use of AI. When you have it spit something out, you copy paste it and you say, okay, I wrote this. So a story, I was editing an essay and working with someone, there was M dashes everywhere. And I was like, I'm not sure if this is original work, trying to just say that so gently of like, I know this is AI. So I said, can you show me an M dash? Will you make an M dash on your keyboard? It's not the little dash button, and it's like shift something. He couldn't do it, and then admitted, okay, yes, this was copy paste AI. So it was just kind of a funny way of if you don't know how to find the M dash button on the keyboard, I don't think we should be putting those in our writing so frequently. So that punctuation piece is one of those tells that we can find. It has awkward punctuation that's not normal. So anytime you read through AI, you're gonna need to change the punctuation. Almost, it'll probably improve with time, but the current models are not good with punctuation. So that's something to always keep your eye out for. It also can sound too smart, so it will just sound like you're reading a textbook. Some ways you can get around this is, explain this at an eighth grade level, or say this like a 15-year-old is saying this. And we've tried that, and it also will hallucinate, and it will start using slang from the 80s and say, it's trying to sound like a teenager, and they'll just put in like all these random words from across generations. So it does struggle with that piece of tone. And so that's where we come in as humans. We are the tone. We know how to make the information sound like human tone. So as it can help us get started, but it's not gonna sound human. So let's see here. This is our ideal AI workflow. So we want to give the AI clear instructions. Then it's going to produce something. And then the student engages. You're going to revise it, question it, engage with it. And this is where the learning happens. This is the best thing to do for study guides. So if you have a study guide or a syllabus, something like that, you can put all that information into your AI, make the prompt and have the prompt say something along the lines of, ask me one question at a time. If I get it wrong, give me a way to remember this. Give me a funny way or something like that. You can interact with it, and that's where the learning happens. You put in the big batch of information you want it to work with you on, and then you engage with it and ask questions and things like that. That can be a really great way to use AI as a study tool if you are working on something. And that is the funnest way to remember things. It gives you the weirdest things of ways to remember things, and it's very good at that. That is a feature that AI is really good at, is coming up with silly things and ways to remember things. All right, ethical use. We've definitely touched on this. Let's not have it do our homework. Let's not use our M dashes if we don't know how to use them. And copy pasting. That's the biggest thing. We're not going to be copy pasting. We're using this as a tool. If we're writing an essay, the brainstorming process, or put in some of your ideas and say, give me an outline. And that can just start to spark your mind and give you a place to start in a flow. So we are not copy pasting. We're not avoiding learning. We're using it again as our calculator, and it's not thinking for us. It's just helping us on our journey of thinking and creating. We also want to use our own voice, the tone again. The AI doesn't have tone, and it's our learning partner. It's not a shortcut. So why do prompts matter? As a prompt engineer, I can tell you that AI is only as good as your instructions. So it's gonna, if you put something in just really specific, it'll give you something specific. If you put in something very simple, it'll respond simple, or it'll hallucinate and give you something, trying to fill in the answer with again, it's a pattern model, a text pattern model. It'll fill in the blanks, and it might not be what you need, and it might not be correct. So as specific as you can make your prompts will give you very good outputs when you're using AI. And for the AI I'm talking about right now, I should have said this at the beginning. I'm talking about your Gemini, your ChatGPT, your conversation chatbot models that most people use. So that is what the type of specific AI I'm talking about is those chatbots. All right, so we want to make our prompt. So the simplest way to make our prompts work is to give the AI a role, give it a task, give some details, and give it some constraints. We want it to know exactly what it's producing. We don't want it to think on its own. We want it to follow our directions that we are giving to it. So a bad prompt versus a good prompt. So a bad prompt, well, not bad, because I would love to read a story about unicorns, but write a story about unicorns. In this context, this would be a bad prompt because we don't know what the role is, the task we have, but details, constraints, it's too vague. So a good prompt is here, a 200-word story for a second grader, Common Core standard, include these target vocabulary words, feature these characters, focus on theme. This is a great prompt if you are using this to help yourself learn. You can include your siblings, your friends, names, your pets, things like that that keep it engaging. For example, this one would be for something like fluency. If you're practicing your reading fluency and sounding like a confident reader, this would be a great way to use that. But you can use this formula for almost anything. So let's look at some prompt examples here. All right, practical prompts. So our prompt here, turn my notes into a study guide for an 8th grader. Include examples, simple explanations, and a 5-question quiz. So this is a prompt you can use for studying, for any type of test. Summarize this paragraph into bullet points, highlight key terms. So instead of just summarize this paragraph, which might be something that people would put, you add in these extra things. So putting in, again, the role, the task, the details, the constraints is going to help with your prompts so that you can use AI effectively. There's another example here for math. Ask me one question at a time, show the first step only so I can try solving it. So for math problems, you can have it be your partner and go back and forth instead of just, it'll give you a wall of text if you don't tell it what to do. So it's going to just send you a giant wall of text. But if you put in these constraints, it will be a helpful study buddy. Create a 150-word story. Again, this was the one with the vocabulary words. This is good for executive functioning, like we were discussing, and create a step-by-step checklist. Completing a three-part science project, you would put in your syllabus or your rubric, whatever you're working on. Include reminders for planning, research, writing. You can put in the dates that this project is due. You can put in the nights that you have no activities after school that you can actually work on this, the time. It's a great tool for executive functioning as well, because that's something that is hard with executive functioning, is seeing the big picture, is seeing that plan. So using it as your tool, not as just your essay writer, using it as this partner and tool is going to be really helpful. And last one here, this is my favorite. Like I said, give me funny ways I can remember the answer. This is my favorite way to use AI because it is so good at this. And this is a fun way to study. And as you're going back and forth, you're going to just get these random things that you can remember. And it is really fun. So I've done this with students live in our sessions together, where we will have, we will be talking to the AI together and going through the prompts and then seeing what the AI says, saying, oh, okay, what do we need to revise for this? And putting in different questions, putting in study guides, and then just showing the students as they go how they can use the AI. And it's really fun to kind of see it click of all the things you can do with it, because it's only limited by our imagination. You can really, there's the whole world out there, just like there's the whole world out there on the internet, there's the whole world in here in AI, and the things that it can produce for us are only limited by ourselves. So it is very fun to play with it, and I definitely recommend students play with AI and get to know it and get to use it in these types of ways that are engaging and fun, instead of just using it um, in a copy paste way. You got to engage with it. That's where the learning happens, and it's really great learning tool if we use it like that. So we want to use our prompts. We want to use our formula for our prompts here. We want to engage with the model. We don't want to just take what it says to us at face value. We want to communicate with it, engage with it, and apply that learning. All right, so the future. So AI literacy is going to be like digital literacy was back in the day. So where, with work, school, daily life, like Christina was talking about, the job market, things like that, it is rapidly changing. So we all need to learn how to use it responsibly and use it well. And it is going to become, I believe, a foundational skill that we will need to teach students. And using it now is going to set students up for opportunities later in the future. Okay. So I want to say thank you so much. I am so happy that you all came today. This has been really great. I'm really excited for the question and answer portion. I would love to answer any questions. If you would like me to send you the slide deck so you can use those prompts and copy paste them, you can send me a text. That is my phone number for texting. My email, those are the ones in red, so you can call me or text me at that number for Hello EDU. And then the QR code goes straight to my website if you would like to see more about what I do. And then, of course, you can always message me on Instagram, find me on LinkedIn. I make YouTube videos for algebra, and I have a Facebook page as well. So I can connect in any way, but yeah, just send me a message and I would be happy to send you those prompt examples for you to use. And I'm happy to chat if you're looking for tutoring or would like to know more about AI literacy. So thank you again so much. And I, again, am very happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amanda. That was really, really stimulating and inspiring, and actually made me feel just like really hopeful about our future. And you gave me some great ideas for how I can use AI in my life. And really looking forward to the Q&A in just a few minutes. We're gonna actually start by sharing a few of the unique opportunities coming up here at Kairos, ways that you can actually use AI to solve real world problems and refine those skills that you have. And then we're going to launch into Q&A. So start thinking about those burning questions you have. So now we're going to get to Q&A. I know we have some incredible questions coming in. Okay, so the first one is, um, all right. How can you use how can you use AI to help students start with writing assignments, um, but not do all the cognitive work for you, like not make the actual argument?
That's a really great question. So, when you are trying to find your voice, right? We're using AI as a tool to find our own voice. A good way to do that would be, help me understand multiple viewpoints about this topic, and you'll put in the topic or whatever you're working on, or explain this in simple terms so I can understand it, or what would I need to know to make a strong argument about this? And so you are asking for the tools and the guidance to get to your own voice and your own opinion, but you're using it as the way to start. So using it as that tool to take that first step.
Yeah. We also have a question here. Teachers use apps to detect AI involvements in student essay writing, but there are quite a lot of false positives. Sometimes the better students write, the more likely their work is tagged as AI generated, since AI was trained to train on good writing samples. So how can this be resolved? Do you think we should be anxious about false positives? Just any thoughts on that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a big question. It's a big question. Those AI checker tools are so unreliable. I have used them in my various roles before. That is something that is 100% human written. It will get flagged as AI if it is written well. So I think the bigger thing, as long as when we're talking about school and teachers and everything like that, is actually the writing process. So I'm seeing a lot of schools start to do this now. Make sure everything's written in a Google Doc. Make sure you have your rough draft. Make sure you show your edits. So it's more about the writing process, and you can see the process in the writing improve as they go through that writing process. So just like showing your work, I always go back to the calculator because that's how it clicks for me. But just like you have to show your work in math, it's almost like you're showing your work when you're writing.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it's funny, my husband's a lawyer, and he often says the best defense is the truth.
Yep.
I mean, if you wrote at the end of the day, I think you should just feel confident about that as as well. Um, okay, so question here. Do you think plagiarism is black and white? Like something's either
Oh,
plagiarized or it's not.
yeah. I mean, I guess what you just said. You know if it's plagiarized. I guess if you are the copy pasting, I think that's what it is. But I do think yeah, very, very interesting question. I do think it's a gray area now with all these tools, but it's what you if it's your original thoughts and you are, using it as a tool, I think that's the way you avoid plagiarism is just using it as that tool, just like you would if you were talking to a tutor or a teacher. That's not plagiarism because you're getting ideas from your tutor or teacher. It's information that helps you create your original content.
Yeah. Um, I've got a question here. How do you know if you are skilled at prompting? Uh, like how do you benchmark yourself? Like we've got some students who say that they thought they were good, but then they realized that other people were doing things that were way more sophisticated. So is there a way to sort of like benchmark yourself on your prompting skills?
Yeah, I mean, going back to the formula, you are good at prompting if your prompt has a role, a task, the details, and the constraints. So any prompt that has that is a good prompt. Of course, you can elevate this, right? And you can see these long prompts that are going to every single detail. So that's just adding more details, but you're still using that formula of having the role, the task, the details, and the constraints. So if you have those four things, you are a good prompter objectively. And then if you want it to be even more detailed and create even more, follow your instructions even more, yeah, you add those details, you
Yeah.
add those constraints. So you can just build off of those four things and get even better and better.
Yeah. And how do you stay up to date on like with your prompting skills and your AI knowledge? Are there, you know, is there a course that you recommend, or books or podcasts, or like certain people to follow? Just anything on that topic.
Yeah, so I'm lucky because I'm kind of in it, in it in the nitty gritty, I would say. But I love a good certificate. So I don't know the exact names of them now, but on my LinkedIn, I have done so many of those types of certificates, and they're free, and they're through LinkedIn Learning, and you can do certificates and learn about that. There's also through Google, they offer a lot of free certificate programs where you can get up to date knowledge and learn your skills. And also YouTube. So I just like staying up to date with, there's a lot of YouTubes out there, just AI today. It changes every day. You got to kind of be on your toes. So watching YouTube videos and things like that is what I usually do. So,
Yeah. And actually, our program, the Fortune 1000 Industry Immersion Program, includes access to all the like the paid version of a lot of tools, and then also a lot of the projects for the Fortune 1000 companies actually sort of like teach you prompting and require prompting as a part of the internships. So just a lot of real world experience and real world learning there as well.
oh, that's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah. Okay. Have a question here about. Uh, okay, what skills do you recommend students learn to be successful in the age of AI, doing not only well in school work, but also white collar jobs as well?
Okay, yeah, that's a really good question. Um, yeah, so I think when we think about the future of AI, we're not going to be competing with AI, right? So AI can do a whole different set of skills that that better and faster, some of that more tedious type stuff. So I think the biggest thing is prompting, is asking those good questions. That's going to keep you um, competitive in this market if you have these prompting skills. So start small with the four and build from there. And there's a lot of information out there too. And being able to explain your thinking, and just think about what AI cannot do. So AI cannot be creative. AI cannot, collaborate with people. AI cannot, have emotional intelligence or that tone we are talking about, identifying that good tone. So I think those types of skills, I think, I don't know, we don't call them soft skills anymore, but those types of skills,
Yeah.
those people skills, I think are really important to have in this age of AI, and just think about what AI can't do and how you can interact with AI.
Yeah, I'll also answer Connor's question as well. Yeah, I really think it comes down to those three components of the equation. I think um, there's AI and everything around AI. Like people just like say AI, but you can understand the math behind AI, the like what it actually is on a scientific level, and like the philosophy around it, like all the thinking around it, like understand AI in an intellectual way, and then also understand in a practical way, like how to make it do certain things, how to use the tools, like the ins and outs of them, how to compare them, how to get things done. So like a certain like multifacetedness around AI and the ability to co-create with it, to think of it as a collaborator. And then I also think EQ is just is like the ultimate differentiator now. Like that ability to to be self-aware, to read in between the lines, to see, really hear, really like yeah, really see and really hear other people. Um and because I think presence and the kind of frequency that you have as just as a human is going to be so important. Like it's really the ultimate, skill capability for the future. Um, and and then also I think the ability to think deeply, critically, analytically. Um, and I mean, I don't even think of that as just like a STEM skill. I just think of that as um, the like it cuts across different subjects. Um, and I guess I also believe that you should be passionate about like something. So you should get like some domain expertise, like something that you're just really obsessed with, really in love with. I think like the experience of being really focused on something and really understanding all the intricacies and nuances of it, actually like the specific becomes the universal. Then that sort of teaches you how to understand everything else in the world. So that's what I think is going to be important. Um, okay, so we have a question here about oral exams and writing in blue books. Just curious from your work in education if you've seen more teachers require oral exams and writing in blue books as a result of just AI, the
Yeah.
proliferation of AI in our world.
Yeah, definitely what I'm seeing shift is the oral type of presentation. Also, what I've been noticing too is slide decks. So they will be having students, make slide decks and a lot more collaborative stuff using Google Docs, using Google Slides, so they can track the steps. They can track if something's copy pasted. So that's what I've been kind of noticing is a big shift is using those Google Docs that have the history is almost every teacher is using something like that. And then of course we have used AI. AI is great for helping you with giving a speech. It's so great at giving you the outline and giving you some timing hints. It is a great tool for that, supporting you if you're practicing and need it. So I have seen, like I said, it's more about the process now because they need to see that it's original work.
Really, really like so honored, Amanda, to have you here with us tonight. Like really inspiring and empowering discussion and so genuinely helpful as well.
Yeah.
And thank you everyone for being here with us. And again, connect with us so we can send you those notes and those resources. And we will see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.